And one of the things we could talk about is talking about how we've sort of changed what we're doing with regards to talking, and then liking what we were talking about, starting the conversation over and trying to pretend we were having the conversation we were having 10 minutes earlier, and it not feeling really genuine. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Okay, you can go if you like.
Recording?
We are.
We are recording.
Okay.
I mean,
Are you going to use this?
Maybe.
Okay.
Hey, John David, come here. Here, step on camera.
Welcome to the John and Joe Show, where we get together to have coffee and talk about things that matter to us, and we hope they matter to you as well. My name is Joey McGurr, and with me as always is my co-host, John Schober. How you doing, John?
Hey, Joey, how are you doing? This is Leadership, Community, and Random Musings.
And Random Musings, yes.
I like that tagline. That's a good ring for it.
Yeah, I like it too.
So, we are here. It is the 4th of March as we record this.
I don't think he's switching back over to himself.
Cameras?
Well, I'm not switching yet. Hey, we're doing some cool stuff here today. So there we go. Now we are, I am talking. So we're sitting here. It is March the 4th. That kind of has like an interesting ring. It has like a commanding ring, don't you think?
March 4th.
March. Okay, there you go. There's our joke for the day. March 4th is the commanding ring.
And one of the things we could talk about is talking about how we've sort of changed what we're doing with regards to talking, and then liking what we were talking about, starting the conversation over and trying to pretend we were having the conversation we were having 10 minutes earlier, and it not feeling really genuine.
So the way that we've been doing the show, Joe and I get started, and we just kind of decide, hey, what random musings we talk about, catch up with life, and we get to a conversation, we get to a topic that has a lot of juice into it, it's very interested in it, and we're like, wait, stop. Let's stop the conversation, and then we hit record, and then we try to restart the conversation, but we're doing things a little bit different. We're hitting the record from the very beginning, and we're going to get started on taking those conversations live. We hope that what it does, it gives you a better sense of the energy here. This was kind of your idea. Why did you decide to just hit record from the very beginning?
Well, mostly because the technology kind of allows us to do that. So before, we would start a conversation and we'd get excited and the energy would rise and there'd be some kind of magic there in the conversation that we were having, right? We go, ooh, this is good. Let's make this the show. And so then we would hit the record button and we'd say our intro piece, and then we'd try to segue into what we were just talking about. And we'd almost say exactly what we said before, but the magic wasn't there.
Yeah.
Like the words came out almost like identical, but there was no fire behind the words. And so I thought, well, let's not do that anymore. For me, one of the things I love about this, one of the reasons I wanted to do this with you is when you and I get together, ideas fly, sparks start shooting all around the room, and we get excited. We actually sometimes even take action. Like this show, for example, was a conversation one day that resulted in us taking action and actually having the show. And I think there's a lot more juice in original conversation. Now, we often boast that we're not that clean, right? Not slick and not smooth in our delivery. We'll probably be a little less smooth, but we're aware that we're recording, even though this is completely unscripted. This is really unscripted. I mean, even before it was unscripted, but it was sort of, mocked based on a
we had a conversation. We had a place that we were going. And I think that's one of the things that we've kind of learned is we kind of developed of a skill set. I'm very conscious of ums and ahs.
Right.
And so it does make it a little bit easier to just have this conversation live and free-flowing because we've kind of developed that repertoire with you and I. And I think that's something that's important to talk to our listeners about. Not being afraid to get started. And if you just get started and start doing it, you will develop the skills and the expertise. The thing that kind of separates the 1%ers, no one ever started out at the 1%.
Right.
They all started out.
They started at the bottom 1%.
A lot of them did.
Yeah.
You ever read Millionaire Next Door?
Uh-huh.
That's a great book. It talks about the guys that inherit money. I mean, most people that inherit money, they lose it in one generation. Most of the very wealthy,
as well as people who win lotteries.
oh, well, yeah, people that win lotteries, I mean, they lose it like 12 months after they've won mega millions, and they're broke a year later. We talk about being in that montage, being in that place where we're preparing to go somewhere. Well, if I could just arrive, if I could just be there. But the reality is it's going through that process that develops the skills, not just the skills to actually do the thing that you're wanting to do, but the skills to maintain that and to be responsible with the resources that you're entrusted in. I know it's really hard to be in the transition time, but that's when the skills are built. I love what Dave Ramsey says. He's a 20-year overnight success.
Right.
And,
right. Well, Jim Rohn once said that if you ever end up getting $1 million, you better hurry up and become a millionaire, right? Because it's just having the money doesn't have the mentality of a millionaire, right? He actually made millions of dollars and lost it all because he didn't have the mentality of a millionaire. He had the skills, the sales savvy to go out and make the $1 million, but then when he had $1 million, he lost it all because he didn't know how to manage it and maintain it. And so,
do you know any millionaires?
I have an uncle. I know he's a millionaire, and he still eats raccoon and lives out of a trailer on his property. So he's the quintessential millionaire next door. I'll tell you that.
I obviously don't know. I don't go to my friends and say, "What's your net worth? Can I see your balance sheet?" I suspect that I have several that are millionaires. You challenged me earlier this year to really kind of up my game. So last year it was all about 100 conversations, having 100 cups of coffee with people. And you challenged me to really kind of up my game on who I spend time with.
Right, your mastermind.
Part of that is the mastermind group that I'm doing, and also part of it is just trying to find those. I'll use the term millionaire again, not that I go and ask people what their net worth is, but the point is being around people that are exceptional. You are so involved in different networking groups. How do you transition? How do you make those connections where you meet someone at a big networking event and then you turn it into more of an intimate relationship building? What are some things that you do, and how have you made some connections with some really high-powered people?
I think the key is just connecting with them on a human level.
Yeah.
I have a really good friend named Brad Clausen, and Brad's the master at this. And he wrote a book called Humans, Fire, and a Room Full of Socks. And it's all about, when you go out into the business world, leave your business suit in your pocket and bring out your human side, right? Like, that's the humans part of it. The fire is when you walk into a room and there's 100 people there, and you're going in with the intent of, I just want to meet millionaires, you're cherry picking, or you're kind of sifting through the wood in the room. And so he talks about make fire of all wood. And this is very true. This has happened to me where I'll meet someone at a networking event, and I'll know just from first impressions that they're probably not very wealthy. They're probably not really well connected, but I'll take 5 minutes to get to know them and kind of learn a little bit about connect with them on the human level, end the conversation and not really think much of it. And then 2 days later, I'll get an email introduction from them that turns into a new client for me. And so I love that concept of make fire of all wood. Don't go out looking for millionaires. Go out looking to connect with humans, and they'll introduce you to people. If you're a person of quality, they're going to recognize that, and they're going to make introductions with other individuals of quality. And the last one is a room full of socks. He talks about when you go to a networking event, pretend you have a Velcro suit on and everybody's a sock, right? And so you want to attract people to you, and you want to be super sticky. Credit to Brad, because those are all really great concepts that you can wrap your mind around, especially if you're new. But I've been doing that my whole life, is trying to go into places and really connect with people on a human level. And that's, to me, I just do that organically. It's not like I have to work at it. When I'm going somewhere, even if I have the intent to meet a specific person, I'm going to meet whoever I run into between the front door and that person, and then that person, and leaving. And so it just happens that way.
We were in a teaching group not too long ago. And it was a pretty dynamic, it was a pretty diverse group of people. There were definitely some high-powered people in there, entrepreneurs, lawyers. There were some others that, just not being judgmental, but just, from the fact they just were not going to be that high power. But being able to connect with people and say, whatever your potential is, whatever your ability is, that needs to be honored, that needs to be respected, that needs to be connected with. You do such a great job teaching that and emulating it. No, you really do.
Watching you lead that class, and the way you handled the people there, I don't know if I could have been as nice as you were. You were very delicate with them.
It was an interesting dynamic.
Yeah.
It was kind of fun. All right. Well, I'm John Schober. And you are?
I am Joey McGurr.
And we are the John and Joe Show. Make sure that you check us out on JonAndJoeShow.com. Subscribe to us.
Yes. We can subscribe for us as well, but we've already subscribed.
Yeah. We are on iTunes and Stitcher.
We are.
And I am still trying to get my 1,000 tweets.
Yeah, so tweet John.
Tweet me at JShober and tweet Joey at
Joey McGurr.
Have a great day. Go figure it out.